So are you missing key elements from your heated brush routine for your beard? I don't know if you are or not, but I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned over the past few years of using a heated brush. So welcome guys, my name's Brian. This is my Beards and Banjos YouTube channel where we try to help you grow your best beard possible. Thank you so much for joining me. And I've been using a heated brush off and on for, I don't know, for almost 4 years now. So it's been a while. I don't do it every day. It kind of depends. I went a whole lot of time there and not used a heated brush because I was wearing a mask every day and really didn't care how my beard looked underneath. But now that the masks are coming off and I'm also letting my beard grow out for 3 months, you guys can check out that video as I'm trying some beard supplements for the first time, see how those work for me. But we're back to using the heated brush some. So I've got the routine here I'm going to show you and give you some key things to think about along the way. All right, so you can kind of see what the final product looks like. Like what I have is about as tamed as my beard gets because it does have some waviness and some different things going on in it. So the first thing is do make sure that you use some sort of heat protectant, and most of the time that's your beard oil, right? So you can put on some beard oil, wait a little bit, let it soak in, and then you can use your heated brush just to be on the safe side. And if you're not going crazy with the amount of heat or how long you're leaving it on, then you don't really have to worry too much about it, but always to be on the safe side with that. All right, so let me go ahead and start this video. You can kind of see what my beard looks like before the heated brush routine. And I don't know why I'm looking so green in this video. Not a whole lot I can do. But one thing that I do first is to fluff it out. And the reason I'm fluffing it out is for a very particular reason. That's so it catches more hairs. When I go to push this down, more of those hairs, if they're sticking out, is going to go into that heated brush a little bit better. All right, so you can see me doing that there. And then the next thing to dial in is your speed. And I know most of the time we need to slow down, right? Slower is usually better if you're looking for the straighter look, but you've got to experiment around with it. For me, what I usually do, I think about is I'm just trying to get some heat in my beard. Because the next part is trying to find the right tension. So those two things kind of go together. So I'm going kind of slow, and then I'll speed up a little bit. I'm just trying to make sure I've got heat on all portions of the beard that I'm working with at the time. But you may want to experiment around with that. If the slower you go and the longer you go at it, the straighter your beard will look. And sometimes you can overdo it. It can become kind of unnaturally straight. So you got to avoid that. But what you're going to see me do in just a second is I get the heat in my beard, and then I have to use a different tool to get the tension to it. All right, because for me, my beard's not super thick, so the tines on my heated brush, I've got a Kusha bar here, by the way, so they're spaced out far enough, and I don't have enough thickness here that it's not giving me enough tension. It's actually giving me some, but I want to go a little bit further with it. So if you'll notice, what I do next is I'll pick up my boar's hair military brush. Or you could use something that's spread out a little bit more, a round brush, or you could use a paddle brush even if your beard's super thick. But you've got to find something to give you that tension, and that will really enhance the straightness to it, and you don't have to feel like you're going over and over the same spot. All right, so there I go with my boar's hair and just going slow and trying to catch that tension and pull those straight. And then the next thing I do is I mimic the cold shot on the blow dryer. So a lot of times what that'll do is there's a chemical reaction, I think it is, that kind of locks things in place if you go back and hit it with the cold shot after you get it styled in place. So my hands were really cold at the time, so I do that. So I kind of use it as a cold shot. I do feel like it really helps. If I want it colder, like you can get an ice pack or something out of the freezer and stick your hand on it. I have ones that's like made out of bean bags, and it's got beans in it, I think, but it's like cloth, so it's not going to make my hands wet if I use it. I don't really do that, but I was just throwing out a suggestion, because what I'll notice is if I do this when it's really, really hot in the bathroom, it's not quite as effective, even with the cold shot on my hair dryer. If it's really, really hot and humid when I'm using it, the cold shot doesn't seem to be quite as effective. So that's what I'm doing here with my hands. Yes, it's like I'm trying to push it down in place, but I'm really trying to use it like a cold shot and lock everything in is what I'm doing. So let me know if you use your hands like that to try to lock in your style. So you can kind of see the difference there on the my left side versus my right side. And I did fluff it out, so it's a little bit exaggerated on the right hand side. The other thing you can do is you can go sideways. I know especially on The front, if you've got a really wavy spot, you can go sideways to it. Now, what's that doing? First of all, it's also providing the tension, because instead of going down here freehand and you've got nothing behind it but air, what you are doing is you're using your face to kind of provide more tension. So another thing you could do is the brush technique that I was showing you with a military brush or something like that. But that's what the sideways will do for you. Kind of fight against the curls a little bit, but also give you more of a palette to use. If it's a really long beard, you can put your other hand behind it. Just be careful not to burn yourself. But if you're just going on the outside of it, you're not really going to burn yourself too much. Depends on the different brushes that are out there, your heated brushes that you're using. All right, so let's show you this other side. I went sideways a little bit just to show you, but I don't typically go sideways too much. I found that, and I don't want my beard to go too straight because it just doesn't look natural on me. So now I'm going back with the boar's hair brush, straighten it out, and then there's my cold shot, if you will, using my hands. Notice I'm using the back side of it because it was colder after I get it in there. And you can see it's made quite a bit of difference, but still looks pretty natural. Okay. All right, so I did the front kind of the same way. And now I want to show you can use the heated brush on your mustache. Depends on how big your mustache is. I kind of go over to the side. And mine is going to become more prominent if you can't already tell. It's getting a little bit bigger than what I shot in that video. It's been an extra week. And over the next month, I'll show you how to handlebar it out for the first time. All right, so I've finished with the heated brush. Did my cold shot, pulled everything out, found the right tension. And then now another key thing is to use some beard butter at the end. And I don't want you to be afraid to do this next step, which is to fluff it back out. And I'm using my Chicago beard pick there, number 7. You think, well, that's just going to undo everything you did. Actually, it doesn't, because the heat's already in there. It's kind of locked in with your cold shot and all of that. So what it will do is to bring some of those hairs that are kind of stuck against your face, bring them back out a little bit, so make it look a little bit more natural. At least I found. And you'll be able to kind of do that on your own over the next 30 minutes or so right after you use the heat brush. And you could have just went in with the butter instead, because as you're using the butter, if you try to get the backside of your hair a little bit, it will kind of fluff it out. But I do, at least for me, I like the fluffing it out a little bit at the end. It will not undo what your heat brush just did. Okay? And then I'm just brushing that back through. And once again, how tight of a look do you want? You can use one that's got a little bit of, the nylon brushes there. Just use on my paddle brush. You can get back in there with the military brush. Use your hands again. Flatten it down as much as you want. Give it one last comb out there. That mustache is just about to go out to the side. It's coming soon. And then you can go back and kind of mess around the bottom. That's the thing you miss with the using the heated brush is it's kind of hard to get it to curl under. You can, depends on your length of beard. So you can go back with round brushes to try to get it to curl under. That's a piece that you don't get that you can on the hair dryer. But anyway, there it is. Still looks natural to me, but it does look a lot more tame and in place here for the sides from the straight on view, which is the view I see in the mirror. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed that, maybe picked up a helpful hint or two. Let me know if you do something else in your heated brush routine that I didn't mention, and we'll have a conversation about that. And as always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you soon.